We are SGOC Media, and this is the Quit Jerking Off Initiative.
There are pieces from every, there's nothing new under the sun, right? I look at traction and I think that's a great process. And I look at the Advantage, or I look at Scaling Up or Gazelles, all great systems and processes. The problem is most processes applied at the wrong time actually bring a negative result rather than a positive result. Mm-hmm. So the reason I built the entire Empire program system was because over the course of the last 5 years when I was building those 86 companies, I systemized and took pieces out of every one of them, and because there's good stuff in each one of them. But in the end, it's how you apply it in the timing of the business and how you're actually strategizing. I love that 90-day sprint model. I think that I should be refocusing every 90 days, and redetermining what my goals are that are ultimately leading towards my big goals. But in the end, if I don't understand the context by where I live, I'll give you a great example. Right now, people are right in the middle of a pandemic. Most businesses in the U.S. today have moved back into what I call the perseverance mode, which is a pre-profit mode. Quarter over quarter, they're not making enough business. The owner's not taking enough salary. Debts are growing, not decreasing. That's not a sign of a profitable company. However, many of them right now are operating like profitable companies. Well, you're a pilot. I've flown quite a bit in my life. I was a pilot for a while there. In the end, what happens if you're pointing at the ground and you cause acceleration? What happens? Yeah. You decrease the likelihood of a crash.
Right.
And that's what happens in businesses. I'm more fearful for businesses today that come out of the pandemic and don't understand where they are from a structural standpoint, and they're going to put the gas down.
Pedal down. Yeah.
And then what happens? They accelerate on the ground. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's a dangerous thing, and if you don't understand, and there's business processes in each one of those phases that have to shift and change in order to get to the next phase. I don't know if you've ever read that book by Horowitz, but he says in there, whoever got you here oftentimes won't get you there. Right? And that's the same thing with your business. You look at what happened the last 5 years of my business that made me successful today. Well, oftentimes, if you've hit a ceiling, those practices over the past 5 years aren't going to get you what gets you to the next level.
No.